Okay, great. All right, so we're about to do this reading for Pisces, and oh, let me make sure the sound is on. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Okay, cool. All right, so I did a reading for Pisces and Cancer connections, but I had to delete that one because there was some technical difficulties. So anyhow, in that reading, I seen a connection that was moving smoothly and ascending to a higher level of commitment, even thinking about coming together, living together, you know, helping one another, feeling like you're stronger together, more abundant together, more successful together than apart. So that's what that reading was talking about. And also looked like you'd be spending some intimate time together, some quality time together um, in the near future. So yeah, that's what that reading was talking about. And then of course, you know how I like to clarify positions and to look for additional information for the connections that have similar resonance, but maybe some a little snag in the road or highlighted areas of concern, etc. Maybe even to be redirected altogether. So as I did that, I seen that there were some, I would say, like, not red flags, but yellow alert, like yellow, orange flags of concern. That just to remind, because I already said, like, you guys would be thinking about moving in together, sharing some expenses, helping one another be more successful, feeling more abundant together than apart. And the connection had experienced some highs and lows, and you guys have weathered the storm together. Some connections were talking about those type of details, not to eliminate the other connections that may have just met and things were just moving along very smoothly, progressing, but for the connections that were on and off again, and actually it looked like you guys had come back together. So it looked like a reconciliation for some of you, and you guys may have considered taking the connection more seriously in the past even. There could have been the ups and the downs that you guys experienced with your on and off again connection. So the highlighted area of concern was just to remind you guys that you're thinking about sharing expenses together, building together, helping one another. The finance and career card made an appearance, and also the deception card made an appearance, the moon card made an appearance in the reading. So yeah, that was the highlighted area of concern, to make sure that you guys are on the same page, acknowledging, you know, anything that might not be spoken of and might just be expected, because it kind of seemed like that would be a blindside area. And sometimes in our connections, we may find ourselves like subconsciously having expectations, especially when it relates to support and finances and careers and stuff like that. We might come into those connections without really talking about those type of details and just having unspoken expectations. Well, it looked like if that would be the case, then it could, like, and maybe even a repeat cycle of the on and off again, looking like a karmic pattern, and this being a karmic partner. So that was a highlighted area of concern. And then thankfully, a beautiful person came by. I'm so grateful, and left a comment in the chat to let me know that I did not have volume. So that was awesome, because I didn't waste too much time. And so that was the reading that I had, and I was about to like close that one out. But now we get to do a bonus. So I'm going to redo your reading and see if we pick up that storyline, or if another connection surfaces for us to read for that one. So here we go. So we're working with Pisces and Cancer, which represent the 4th house, and Pisces represents the 12th house. All right. Hey, thank you so much for your support on the video and on the channel. Dear Holy Spirit, please put resonance in the deck to give me a reading for Pisces connection with Cancers, aka the 12th house and the 4th house. All right, so there goes our King of Pentacles here. And that reminds me of my disclaimer that here I do the short-term energy readings, as energy changes all the time. So before I had the Queen of Pentacles come out, now I have the King of Pentacles here in the first position. Thank you. Oh, and that represents, like I was saying, it looked like the connection came on the stage with the intention to move it to a higher level of commitment. All right. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me my second position here. Okay, so here we have the Moon and the third position. All right, and then we have the Apprentice. So the energy has shifted a little bit, but we're still here at, it looks like, so in this reading, if it's not a twin flame connection where there's mirroring and there's mutual energy, so when I say Cancer, for an example, it could be Pisces energy, or vice versa. If I mention Pisces, it could be actually Cancer, or it could be mutual, both of your energy on the table, right? Technically, this is Cancer's energy on the table for Pisces reading. Anyhow, it looks like Cancer is coming on the stage here, wanting to take the connection to a higher level of commitment, and there's some uncertainty going forward, and it looks like it'll be moving to a new chapter, okay? So let's clarify. All right, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the King of Pentacles. So while clarifying, when I get a card that's already on the table, that redirects me to my next position. So suddenly there's like some cold, it looks like some cold feet and some obstructive interference here in the Three of Pentacles. So let me work on that for a moment to see what that is about. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Three of Pentacles. Why are the Three of Pentacles here? Okay, Two of Swords, some uncertainty, standing at a crossroad. Okay, Four of Fire. And that's what I had seen in the other previous reading, was the Four of Fire. So, that was representing at that time thinking about moving in together. But now it's a crossroad, and yeah, there's like some uncertainty there. Okay, so there, the Three of Pentacles, I feel like with that clarifier, the Three of Pentacles either stand for coming together and collaborating in order to enhance a situation. So that would be moving together with the intention of helping one another. Sometimes it's there to talk about obstructive interference, like third-party situations and stuff. But the clarifier there was more so, I feel like, talking about coming together and collaborating to help each other, standing at a crossroad. Because of that. All right, and it's in the challenge position. So now let me look into the Nine of Swords, which is stress and sleepless nights. It reminds me too of a detail from the previous reading. It looks like we're picking up from that previous reading and elaborating on that. So in the previous reading too, it was talking about how at least one of you, but it kind of looked like both of you, being single and weathering storms on your own, and that's where the concept, the idea of, hey, we would be better working together than continuing to struggle on our own. Not to mention winter is coming too, so we're starting to see the energies of connections settling down and locking in. But anyhow, let's look at this Nine of Swords and see what the stress is about. Yeah, it's just the anxiety of not knowing. Okay, again, about the Four of Fire continues to make an appearance. And so now, too, it's becoming more clear in context that Two of Swords, too, is like, if we don't decide now what we're going to do as a team, then I need to figure out what I'm going to do on my own. So, some stress about making that decision, and, especially if it comes to like signing leases and starting to lock in, would be regrettable if you guys would otherwise decide to move in together. So it looks like just not being clear is contributing to some of the stress there. Dear Holy Spirit, anything else? And also having hope to, uh, I feel like, to move in together and to be together. With that Star card. All right. Okay. And also, just to look here, the fourth house does deal with housing, The fourth house deals with the nucleus, the family, housing. All right, let's see. King of Cups. Seven of Swords, okay? King of Fire. Okay. Hierophant. Page of Swords. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, the Hangman. All right. So yeah, I remember another detail from that reading. That there were multiple people of interest at once upon a time in the picture. Um, However, I wish I still had that video so you guys could see it. But anyhow, yes, there were multiple people at once upon a time, but it looked like those other people were X'd out, canceled out, and this connection is the one that was standing. This is the one that your person of interest wanted to go into. So that was made clear. But it was also looking like in some storylines that had caused some interference in the past, suspicions, or maybe even broken heart in regard to other people in the connection. So that's a concern this time too, it looks like. And so there's some distrust about that being a possibility. So you have the Three of Pentacles there in the challenging position with the Hierophant. The Hierophant, yeah, talks about marriage and commitment and taking the connection to a higher level. Even I said marriage. Okay, yes, and even contracts too. You know, so like if you're thinking about moving in together, then there could be a question about some contractual agreements, or even if you're thinking about getting married, you know, there could be some contractual um, agreement, at least the desire. And it was a highlighted of area of concern to at least have these heart-to-heart conversations instead of having unspoken expectations. And yeah, so maybe you guys might be thinking, or one of you guys might be thinking, should we put some of this stuff in writing and have an agreement? You know, so that's what seems to be a highlighted area of concern. And so the King of Fire, so it was like the King of Cups in the past, and we're dealing with water connection, you know, water and water connection with the Cancerian here and the Piscean here. Both of you are water signs, and the King of Cups, you know, that water energy, loving energy. Clearly, that was your energy in the past, but in the near future, we're looking at the King of Fire. Now, keeping in mind there actually that when I use a deck, a specific deck, we only have one King of Cups to use. So, by process of elimination, if we couldn't have put another King of Cups there, I would have to use another deck to see, you know. And so I should clarify that King of Fire. The King of Fire could represent a player, somebody who's, you know, single and mingling and keeping their options open, and maybe a player, somebody, you know, that's just having a good time and wanting to sow their wild oats, you know. So let's take a look at that and clarify the King of Fire here and see. So then I would use a deck that has the King of Cups, just in case the King of Cups wants to clarify it's the same energy, but for lack of having two kings. Let me see what's going on. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify why the King of Fire is here. Alright, Two of Swords. So it does seem to point to having like fluctuating energies of wanting to keep their options open, maybe sow some more wild oats. Let me see. The World. But it also suggests that that is a question of concern because of some distrust, or some, it could even be insecurity for the distrust. Like I would like to clarify the Seven of Swords and see if it's maybe subconscious, you know, or if there's some past heartbreak that has the Seven of Swords, you know. But the clarifier that I have here, the World, with around the Two of Swords, suggests that that was their ways in the past, but right now they're thinking about being serious in this connection, not playing around. You know, they learn from their past. So let me see. I'm going to continue looking here. But again, to reiterate, the World suggests learning the lessons from the previous chapter and mastering those lessons, wanting to go, you know, and ascend higher and be more mature and more refined. So let's see. Oh, okay, and then in that case, the King of Fire would represent just wanting to move forward in this connection. But let's see. Thank you for your patience. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify. Is there anything else about the King of Fire here? Okay, no, that's what's being stated there. So now, because I was closed out, so let me, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Seven of Swords. Why is the Seven of Swords here? All right, the Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Fire. I felt like I was going to be closed out. The Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Fire. Yeah, I feel like that's It's being clarified as atmosphere energy, just as a concern. Just as a concern. I didn't get the actual like clarifier that says that it's due to a existing broken heart. That's what I'm like. Not to say that's not a storyline that actually happened, but their intentions in the Seven of Swords and also seeing the Seven of Fire. Yeah, and the Knight of Pentacles, I would say, because remember I was checking to see if there was really some nefarious energy there, or if it was just more subconscious thoughts and concerns. It leans more towards subconscious thoughts and concerns. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Three of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Okay, great. Anything else? Okay, Ace of Pentacles. All right. Anything else? I'm just, right now I'm not seeing the obstructive interference, but the concerns about being able to work together. All right, and I'm being closed out there. Okay, so yeah. All right, so I checked for nefarious energy, deceptive energy. So far, I'm not seeing that. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Page of Swords, which represent the third house, communication, logic, information. Knight of Pentacles. Anything else? A big section around the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Big section all the way through. Let's see, fire, moon, sun, judgment, world. Ace of fire, 2 fire, 3 fire, 4 fire, 5 of fire, 6 of fire, 7 of fire, 8 of fire, 9 of fire, 10 of fire, Page of fire, Knight of fire, Queen of fire, King of fire, pointing me back here. Yeah, so it just, yeah, it seems like the your person being logical or going through the process, you know, mentally with that Seven of Swords too, seems even more to represent the master number of the number 7 and the fact that this represents the suit of swords. So just being sure, it looks like you guys have gone, it's reiterating about your experiences that you have gone through. It does show that this is a wish fulfillment. You know, this is what your person is hoping for, this connection to work out. And for you guys to, they're just going through the process of your experiences together that you've actually experienced. So this part of the reading seems to more so resonate with connections that have already experienced one another. You guys have actually really gone through things together before, you know, gone through a lot together. It seems like you guys have experienced, it seems like you guys have experienced each other in all seasons of the year. And your person is reflecting on those experiences, and it looks like they're, in their heart, they really do want to move this connection to a higher level of commitment. So I just need a moment to restack my deck. I just wanted to isolate that card combination and take a look at it. Okay, so I'll be right back, because there was the moon energy that, you know, in my spread, so I wanted to look closer here. So now I can see why there's moon energy. There's uncertainty, and your person is thinking about a lot of things. You know, that it looks like they're really processing this internally. Yeah. But are they expressing it with you? Is it part of their subconscious thoughts? The moon kind of hints towards a lot of it being internal thoughts, subconscious thoughts. Something that they're going within to, you know, digest and to figure it out and process. So let's see. Thank you for your patience. I just need a moment here. All right. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so now I want to clarify this moon energy here. In our second position, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify this moon. Why is the moon here? Okay, so yeah, King of Pentacles here, Queen of Pentacles clarifying the moon. It's all energy specific, not gender specific. But we do have the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles represents, do we have what it takes? It's like putting in the work, showing improving. Can this really be a reality? And I feel like everything that we've clarified and went over when we were examining the King of Pentacles and the thoughts that went into it is what is also being, subconsciously reflected. Let me see what else. All right, and there goes that Hangman. And we did see the Hangman actually in the outcome when we were examining the King of Pentacles. And that, just represents taking that time organically to process like the butterfly ready to emerge out of the cocoon within its own divine timing. Let's see. And then the King of Swords, is coming to that conclusion of what to do, deciding if it's a yay or a nay. See, here comes also the consideration, examining closely, going through all of the necessary areas of concern and regarding especially coming together, living together, cohabitating and starting to share resources together, etc., and supporting one another. So that's why the moon is there, just going through and digesting all of that energy, taking its time to process that. And let's see what is in this apprentice, this new start. It's a major arcana and it embodies a new beginning after a chapter has closed. So let's see. All right, so this is being clarified by the Eight of Swords. So it lets me know that in this new chapter, you two are still together. Your energy is still connected, especially Pisces energy, since we're reading for Cancer's energy on the table. So your person is still connected. And there's likely some mutual energy there. King of Fire. So again, talking about the progressing forward with so you guys are still, your energy is connected with that. There's like the soul tie there, basically, if nothing else. But it's pointing me back to the moon too. So, and even with the moon being clarified with the Hangman, which to me, it does represent some sustained like longevity. This isn't something that happens overnight, but it concludes within its own divine natural timing. So it looks like your person could be considering this for a while. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Okay, so we'll go ahead and produce our Celtic cross and see if anything else will be restated, expounded upon, or even redirected, maybe even another storyline altogether. Let's see. All right, dear Holy Spirit, please continue. Please cultivate the Celtic cross. I'm looking for the fourth position, which represent energies from the recent past. Okay, Nine of Swords. We've seen the intensity in the Nine of Swords in our previous spread. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles. We have discussed why the Seven of Pentacles is there, contemplating and going through, considering everything at every angle. The sixth position represent energy coming toward the reading from the near future. All right, it's the Judgment there to describe having good judgment, coming to a certain judgment, and also reconciliations are possible with that. All right, so in this moon and also the magician making an appearance here, it looks like, again, describing the divine timing and things coming into alignment for this to really be at a good point of fruition. Ten of Swords. I feel like your person is processing this and going over it and over it again. The subject may have come up before also. Ten of Pentacles. I feel like there is a strong feeling that you guys are successful and abundant together, and the world as the outcome. So with that being said, it looks like there's a likelihood towards reconciliation and for you guys coming together and making this decision to try it. That looks like that's a high probability. Okay, and so that's what I have for Pisces in the fourth house. So thank you for your patience. I'll restack the deck and prepare to move into look at Pisces connections with Gemini, aka the third house. Thank you so much for your support on the video and on the channel. All right, I'll be right back here after I stack this deck and move us into our next reading. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Just about ready. Okay. All right. So Gemini represents the third house. Okay, Pisces, the 12th house. The third house governs communication, logic, information. Sometimes it's also where a seer and or an astrologer will go look for information in regard to siblings, maybe neighbors, close acquaintances, associations, and close family members, and even like extended family members. In contrast, just for an example, like a seer and or an astrologer would look in the third house for that type of information about the family siblings, neighbors, you know, those close associations. Whereas like the 11th house, Aquarius's house, another air sign, deals with more large group, organization, collective associations. All right, so but there we have it. We're going to look at Pisces and Gemini connections. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Gemini and Pisces. Okay. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords. Knight of Fire. And the Justice. Now clearly for some of you it reads very clear. There may be some legal issues or legal situations going on. Okay, that's a clear shot. Translation. Let me see. There is another translation that there could be some sort of like a rescue mission. Your person feeling you in distress, you might be in a situation of distress. And then, you know, as it reminds me of the disclaimer that in this reading, unless it's a twin flame situation where there's mirroring and mutual energy, whereas when I'm describing Gemini, it could actually be Pisces energy. When I mention Pisces, it could be Gemini. Technically, this would be Gemini's energy on the table for Pisces reading. And so it would suggest that, yeah, this does feel mutual. It feels like a soul, twin flame, soulmate connection, because I cannot tell the difference. Because this literally could either be Pisces or Gemini in distress. This could be Gemini and or Pisces coming towards you to, you know, bail you out, rescue, comfort you, check up on you. Okay, now those are readings that I'm going to go ahead and put a pin in it. And now with the clarifiers, that adds another dimension. It could be a different storyline. We could be expounding to get more details. I could be redirected. Let's see. But I said all that to say those readings are clear, so I'm going to put a pin in those. And here we go. Okay, so to clarify, dear Holy Spirit, why is the Nine of Swords here? Ace of Swords. Four of Fire. I'm going to continue clarifying that over here. Dear Holy Spirit, why is the Knight of Fire? And the Justice, why is the Justice here? Hold on, before going to Justice, I might have more here for the Knight, because I wasn't closed out. Let's see. Okay, I'm closed out. The Justice. King of Swords. Alright, Three of Swords. Yeah. Let me see. Anything else? And the moon. Yeah, again, I feel that that's a confirmation that there's two storylines there. It's either something legal pending, or your person is wondering if there should be something legal going on, or they are wondering if you're okay, coming to see if you need something. So both of those storylines are being clarified for me. Let me look here to see if there's anything else. Yeah, no, getting closed out. Okay, guys. One thing that's being stated though is like, if your person is trying to come towards you to see if everything is okay, or even if they're trying to come towards you potentially to try to like serve you for a court or legal purposes, it seems that they're having a hard time finding you. They're either finding themselves blocked, or maybe there was an argument or some difficult situation from the past. Something is blocking them from getting to you. And it almost looks like, as far as like there being some distress, could be some housing issues, because that's the house. Something to do with stability otherwise, though. It almost looks like housing issues. Even still, that could be one of the reasons they're having difficulty finding you. But and it does look like there's some offense that happened in the past, with the Three of Swords being there. The King of Swords is Gemini's energy, which we've already talked about. This reading technically gonna be Gemini's reading on the table. And then there's some moon energy, some uncertainty, some secrets were found out potentially that were astonishing, heartbreaking, disappointment. So even that Ace of Swords, and the Four of Fire being here to clarify the Nine of Swords, there could have been something that was found out or revealed about the house. Like if you guys lived together, there could have been some betrayal. That was something that was discovered at home. So there's a lot of different storylines that are possible coming out. But the long story short is there's some distress that comes into the reading on the stage immediately. And it looks like your person is having a hard time finding you or getting to you. They're blocked. And then here's justice. The justice card over there being clarified with the Three of Swords and the King of Swords and the Moon. So it leans towards, it looks like they're trying to find you, trying to get a hold of you, but there's an offense. The offense even could be not being able to get a hold of you. So yeah, there's so many. This is a reading that is very complex. So what we're going to have to do is get our Celtic cross and take a deeper look. So I just need a moment here to restack the deck, and then I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me my fourth position for the Celtic cross. The fourth position represents energies from the recent past. Okay, Ten of Swords. Fifth position. Three of Fire. Sixth position. Apprentice. Eight of Swords. Eighth position. Three of Pentacles. Ninth position. Hermit. 10th. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Three of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Star. And please clarify the Hermit. Three of Swords. Star. Lovers. Two of Cups. Judgment. Let me look over here. Ten of Swords. Two of Swords. Star. High Priestess. Nine of Swords. Wow. All right, but in a way, it looks like one of you has been ghosted, waiting for your person to come back. It does look like ghosted. And it does look like there's another lover in the picture, but it's very, very much hidden. Like they're ghosting, entertaining another lover. There's a high probability of that. But anyhow, it does look like your person misses you. They want to come back. They want to reconcile. They want to have another moment with you. Okay. Heartbroken because they can't. Yeah, they can't. The ghost, it also seems like they can't find you for some reason. Like they're looking for you, can't find you. I don't know how aggressive they are looking for you though. It looks like they might not be that aggressive looking for you because that's in the challenging position in some situations. So they are looking, especially in the storyline where there's a legal situation going on and it looks like a process server or something trying to find you. But this storyline is more so talking about lovers and wanting to come back and have reconciliation with you. Both of you do. Um, yep. Okay. So yeah, this connection was all over the place, man. There are so many different storylines. It was hard to read for sure, especially because there's some strong, withdrawn, and secret energy going on. Um, yep, some heavy. It just no, there is ghosting. There's no other way to put that, but some real serious ghosting though. It's like somebody just disappeared, almost like, are they okay? You know? Are they fine? Are they ghosting? Or are they going through, like, what did they just disappear for? Can't find them? Did they move? You know? It's really kind of bizarre. That's what I have so far. So, yeah. All right, so I'll be moving on to our next. All right, kind of went offline for a second, but okay. So, looking at Pisces connection with Taurus, the second house. Okay, dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Pisces and Taurus connection. Taurus governs the second house, a house that governs value systems, money, pleasure, and Pisces, the 12th house. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. Strength and Wheel of Fortune. All right. Okay. So, unless there are mutual energies, like in a twin flame, soulmate type of connection, when I mention Taurus, Taurus's energy is on the table, but if it's mutual, like twin flame energy, it could be Pisces energy or mutual between the two of you. And if I mention Taurus, it could be, did I say that already? When I mention Pisces, it could be Taurus. Okay, and this is a general reading. It's not intended to resonate with everybody. So if it doesn't resonate, thank you for kindly disregarding it. Don't force it. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Okay, this connection is coming on the stage with the intention to take this connection to a higher level of commitment. So we could be describing your person's ethics and the mindset that they have. This will be Taurus. This Taurus is minded to take connections to a higher level of commitment. This particular Taurus, and it says that there is potential for this connection to be just that. There's chemistry in the connection, attraction in the connection, it says. And then it looks like you guys could be progressing towards spending some quality time together, retreat, together is what it looks like. Yeah, your person, Taurus, might be coming to court you, Pisces. Maybe want to take you out on a date, spend some time with you, is what it looks like. All right, so that is a reading. I'm going to put a pin in that and then start to clarify and see if a different storyline presents or if more details come out or if we'll be redirected altogether. Let's see. All right, dear Holy Spirit, please clarify why the Queen of Pentacles is here. Okay, yeah, Six of Swords. So with that clarifier, okay, I feel like there's even more of an urgency. Taurus really finds quality in your connection and they want to come out of the cold with you. They feel like they can have peace with you, want to spend some time, quality time with you as suggested. So I feel like that's being clarified here, especially feeling like they have peace. They found peace. They can have that with you. Let's see, before moving on, is there anything else? All right, with that star card, I feel like that's a clarifier as well. Yeah, feeling like they can have the wish fulfillment with you. All right, and I'm being closed out with that. So that is a clarifier. I feel like a confirmation, okay? All right, so now we're going to move to the Knight of Fire to clarify the Knight of Fire. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Knight of Fire. Why is the Knight of Fire here? Let's see. Again, the Six of Swords. Yes, I feel like that is a confirmation wanting to find you. Okay, it almost feels like they might have, I don't know, explored their options. It feels like there's a sense of urgency to get in contact with you. Like, don't let you get away type energy. And again, we're getting clarified with the star, the wish fulfillment. Okay, and I'm being closed out there, so that's great. That's a clarifier. Let's see here, a confirmation. And Holy Spirit, please clarify why the Hermit is here. Okay, Two of Swords. Okay, the Star. All right, the Emperor. Okay, the Nine of Swords. The King of Pentacles. All right, King of Pentacles is Taurus's energy. But let me just state what I've seen so far again. So the Hermit is here. I feel like it's being clarified that they want to spend some quality time with you, some time alone, to retreat with you. It feels like they want to confirm what they feel is true. They're thinking also, it confirms that they want a serious relationship. They're even thinking about if this is the relationship, if you're the partner they can have children with, you guys can have children together, build a life together. There is some uncertainty, so they want to be sure, you know. And yeah, and they feel like they are sure, but they just spending some time alone together, they feel like they'll be even more sure. um but that's going to be the determining factor with that Two of Swords that made an appearance. Also, you know, the Two of Swords, it's like there's a choice. If you agree, if you meet them on the same page, do you feel the same way? Do you want to spend time with them, you know? All right. Anything else? Okay, again with the Star. Okay, the High Priestess. Okay, oh yeah, and that Nine of Swords. They I just feel like there's the obsession, like they're thinking about you very much. Anything else? Four of Fire. Oh gosh, thinking about, yeah, wow. If it's true, you know, thinking about the next step, what it will take. I was feeling like too that they were, with that King of Pentacles and the Four of Fire, planning on looking forward to, if it's a yes, yeah, what's the next step? Moving in together, spending more time together, how to make this work. Okay, and I'm being closed out there. Okay, great. So now we're going to go ahead and get our Celtic Cross going to get some additional information, but I will put a pin in that reading, okay, because it was very clear cut, and that's a complete reading. The Celtic Cross can give us a redirection. It could either expound upon, it can continue to confirm, you know, it could highlight areas of concern and also tie into other readings in the connection, other storylines. So let's see where we're going here with that. Be looking to complete this Celtic Cross. Holy Spirit, please give me the fourth position. The fourth position represent energies from the past, okay? We've seen this Nine of Swords in our previous spread. Fifth position. Okay, Queen of Fire. Sixth position. Okay, 13 Major Arcana, aka the Death card, aka the 8th house. The 7th position. Okay, Knight of Cups. King of Pentacles. Eight of Fire. And the Wheel of Fortune. All right. The Lovers made an appearance around the Strength and the Justice. Okay, as far as energies on the top and bottom of the deck. All right, so I feel like this is a confirmation and a schematic, a diagram showing the intricacies of what we read for in our previous spreads. Okay, so this one just highlights, you know, the challenges actually pursuing you and how they're going to communicate this to you, how will they present this to you, whether or not you're going to accept or not. And yeah, it seems like they're kind of holding it in, planning. So there's some intensity about, you know, the essence of pursuing someone and being prepared to be rejected or being prepared to be accepted and preparing for the next steps. So it looks like this is a diagram that describes that. Okay, with the 13 major arcana there, that's transformative energy. It's like life and death. It's like a new beginning after an ending, like a, you know, moving forward in a new chapter, in a new dynamic way, a change to your connection, or an ending, you know. If it doesn't work out, and also transforming the connection. It's like, it's basically looking like a proposal, but maybe the steps before actual proposal, where your person is just trying to confirm if this is the connection or not. So being rejected or being accepted, either way, it transforms the connection, describing the 13 major arcana, aka the death card. Also, you know, thinking and considering, because the eighth house does govern shared resources, like other people's money, like taxes, for an example, is an example of like shared resources, even inheritances, you know, just thinking the long, really thinking serious about joining each other's resources together. So it looks like your person is, like, again, it's being restated in the schematic, the depths of what, of how they're considering this and what they're thinking about, and again, just wanting to spend some quality time with you. So looks like this might be in their heart. They might not express this, but this looks like what they're considering. And the Wheel of Fortune leaves us on a cliffhanger because, of course, it's a two-way street. This is what I'm looking at, this particular Taurus considering Pisces, and it's a two-way street. Pisces, how you would respond, what your intentions are, if you resonate with this or not. So anyhow, that's what I have for this particular connection at this time. Thank you so much. I will start moving to the first house, which will check Pisces and Aries connection in just a moment. Okay, so thank you for your patience. All right, so now we're here to do a reading for Pisces in the first house. Okay, first house is Aries house, known as the self, and the house of the I am. Pisces governs the 12th house. Dear Holy Spirit, please give me a reading for Pisces and Aries connection. Okay, Five of Pentacles. Justice. Four of Cups. At the top and bottom of the deck is the Three of Cups and the Five of Cups. Five of Cups at the top, Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so straightforward. This one looks like a connection where it's not reciprocal. It looks like your person feels lonely in this connection, like they're the only ones in the connection. They feel ignored, and they feel like the energy that they put in the connection is not being reciprocated. Okay, this is technically Aries' energy on the table here, unless there's a twin flame soulmate type of connection where then the energy is mutual. Okay, and so when I mention Aries, it could be Pisces, or you guys could have the mutual shared energy. Okay, but somebody is feeling lonely, left out in the cold, and like you're not matching one another's energy. It's not being reciprocated in the way that they needed to and or expected to. So what we'll do now is we'll clarify. I'm going to put a pin in that because that is one interpretation. reminding me of the disclaimer that this is a general reading which is not intended to resonate with everyone. So if it doesn't, please don't force it. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. To clarify this one, we'll start with the Five of Pentacles. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify, why is the Five of Pentacles here? Okay, yes, the Ten of Swords, clarifying that. Feeling alone. Okay, it also feels like they have repeated it, or they feel like they've expressed it more than once, so they feel like by this time it feels like you should know how they feel, or like they just feel ignored. And that is Aries energy. The Queen of Fire is Aries energy. Also the Magician here. Let's see, why is the Magician here? Let's see. But it almost feels like they spent a lot of time here. So it almost feels like, too, that they feel like they spent enough time here. And it's time for them to leave. Well, hold on. Yeah, see the Two of Swords there? They're at a crossroad. Okay, they want this connection to stay, but I feel like this Star card also says they don't want to stay in a connection that's not for them. They feel like they know that there's a connection out there for them, and they kind of feel time sensitive, like, yeah, they need to be matched with the energy that's reciprocal and that matches them, you know? Feels like that. Yeah, I'm being closed out. Okay. Alright, so the Justice was talking about a lot of energy. Okay, the Justice was clarified with a lot. Even pointing to, for some of the connections here, that there's a marriage. And so it may be leading to a divorce. Somebody feels like they're alone, feels like you're with somebody else, that there's a third party situation. They feeling like, I could have did that, I could have cheated, I should have cheated type energy. They're really having a hard time emotionally detaching. Some of them is in the process of trying to emotionally detach. This is a storyline that's not intended to resonate with everybody, but these are the type of clarifiers that Justice card is there, signifying that there's lack of balance. They feel like your attention is somewhere else. They feel ignored. They feel like you're distracted in something else. So they're thinking that they know now for sure that there's a third party situation, that you are entertaining another connection. Okay, and I'm being closed out there. And for some, they're feeling like, for the connections where they would want to leave and walk away, but they're having a hard time doing that because this connection is really entangled, and it's got like the entanglement that we've come accustomed to from the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett type of lingo. Then they're thinking about going out and doing the same thing, like just, entertaining, yeah, getting the attention that they need. Dear Holy Spirit, please clarify the Four of Cups, Ace of Swords. Okay, the clarity of feeling ignored. They could be doing things, to prove, just to check the temperature, to verify, to validate their thoughts that, yes, I'm being ignored. My person is not paying attention to me. Okay. Yeah, doing things like wanting to take you out on a date, trying to see if you can go out, spend some time with them. Like they're doing something to verify, to confirm if they're in fact truly being ignored. Okay, and again, it's suggesting that there's a marriage. So for some, they're thinking about a divorce, and there could be some processing, like a service processing, trying to serve you for a divorce, and just feeling like this is something that they've been through over and over again. They feel like totally alone in this connection, and that it's gone. King of Fire. They feel invisible, feels very toxic. Also, just the Five of Cups, some disappointment, some regret, um, some tit for tat type energy. And also I feel like showing out, like really showing out, trying to get your attention and acting out, you know, like their style of an SOS, like just maybe crashing out, kind of like, and feeling, okay, and I'm pointed back. So it feels like a cycle that continues to repeat itself, with the Five of Pentacles being there, pointing back over here to the reading table. Okay, so that's what I have for this reading. Again, to emphasize, it's not one that's for everybody. There is a select few in the audience that this reading would resonate with. And so now we'll get additional information by getting a Celtic cross here. Okay, to get additional information and get a schematic, a diagram to look closer here. There could be another storyline. Oh, that reminds me to put a pin in the other ones, because that's what we were looking at there. Case closed. That was a reading translation. Let's see what we get here. Holy Spirit, please give me my fourth position for the Celtic cross. Fourth position represent energies from the recent past. It's the Three of Pentacles. Okay, now I'm looking for the fifth position, which is crowns. It gives the atmospheric energy from the crown. It's the 13 major arcana, aka the death card. Ace of Cups in the sixth position. Looking for the seventh position. Okay, Queen of Pentacles here. And the eighth position, correction, eighth. Okay, getting a number of cards here. So I feel like the attempt to try to work on the marriage, to work on this connection, if it's not a marriage, wanting to move it to a higher level of commitment is what's being expressed there. And also the wavering, having one foot in and one foot out, but stronger, leaning towards wanting to work on the connection here, communicating. And then they feel blocked, but they continue to persist, trying to get your attention. I really feel like this could be very much mutual energy, but we have had significant indicators pointing to Aries. And it's designed to have Aries energy here. They're trying to get your attention, and they feel very much blocked when they're trying. But it looks like they're being very persistent. Okay, dear Holy Spirit. Anything else? Can you consolidate those card combinations? For the eighth position, okay, the Sun. The Knight of Cups. The Two of Swords. Okay, so in this schematic, I think that is highlighting the fact that they really love you. Your person loves you, and they're trying all that they can. They really desire to have this work out. With the Sun and the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Cups, it says they really want this to work out, but based on the feedback, and it looks like this is a repeat thing that has happened before, and they feel like there's obstructive interference, somebody else in their connection, that they're at the Two of Swords. So there's one foot in, one foot out, but they're leaning towards disconnecting and ending the connection is what it's saying for this. So again, this is not a reading that, it's not everybody's storyline. It's a select few in the collective for this one. Thank you so much for your support on the video and on the channel. I'll be back to do another reading as soon as possible. Signing off for now until next time. Peace.